Guys, so we're switching it up today. We're in my kitchen. I'm going to be making Ghanaian meat pie. I love cooking, so I'm gonna incorporate it into my channel somehow. Anyways, I said I was gonna do a Q&A, so I have a few questions that I need to respond to, and I feel like making meat pie, so I've decided to make it whilst I answer your questions. So yeah, okay. So here are my ingredients for the filling of my meat pie. That's what I'm gonna make first. If you don't want to do a lot of dishes, just put everything on a chopping board, you know, saves time. I've got a small onion here that I've chopped out. I've got some carrots, some mincemeat, and then here I've got some spices. So salt, ginger, mixed spice, and a tiny bit of chili powder. And I will add a little bit of flour and some water just to give it this creamy texture so the insides are not too dry. So question number one. The first question I got was from a lady called Miss T. She asked me like 3 questions, so I'm going to read it to you. Basically, the first part of the question is, when applying for jobs, do you specifically go for ones that are looking for social workers? Yes, most of the jobs that I have applied for, as part of the selection criteria, they have said you need to have a degree in social work. Although my title has never been social worker, it's always been like counselor or case worker or case manager. It's always been something like that, but in the job application criteria, there's always been a requirement for me to hold a social work degree. So the second one was also, I watched a video where you stated your long-term goal is to start your own business. Do you know what kind of social work business this will be? My skin and hair care business is my long-term goal. That's something that I really want to do forever, but I think the values of social work will always remain with me, in the sense that I can't tell you too much, but the way I'm going to operate this business isn't going to be typical. There's going to be specific types of people that I employ, and it's going to be a way of contributing to the society. So I am going to contribute to what I'm committed to, which is social justice, ensuring that people can access things like food, water, just the basic needs, education, employment. So that's the avenue that I am taking. So I am going to be maintaining my social work values, and I'm going to be practicing to get as much experience as possible. But my long-term goal is my skin and hair care business at this stage. So I hope that answers that question. And the last part before we get to cooking is, what has your favorite role been, and if you could go back into one, which one will you choose? I think my work with asylum seekers I really enjoyed. It was tough work, but I just enjoyed the people that I worked with. Just the clients were very interesting. It was just nice to learn all these different cultures on a daily basis. So yeah, I found that really interesting. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter to my pan. Okay, whilst we wait for that, we're going to answer the next question. So someone asked me, what is the meaning of life? And I was like, oh my god, that's not something that I guess I've thought too much about, really. I feel like it's one of those questions that everyone answers it differently, you know what I mean? For me personally, I think the purpose of life is experience. I think it's just exploring and experiencing different things all throughout until you no longer manifest in the form of a human being. Yeah, I think it's just about experiencing everything non-judgmentally and open-mindedly. That's what I think is the meaning of life. But that's such a complex question, and yeah, I think it means different things for everybody. What do you guys think? What's the meaning of life for you guys? Leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to know. And also let me know if you enjoyed this, like, because I would love to keep making food videos but talking to you like in between. So I'm gonna add my mincemeat now. Someone asked, what are the steps a high schooler can take to get on the path of social work? Depending on where you are. So I can only speak from, you know, a high schooler in Australia's perspective. If you're in Australia and you want to study social work, basically when I studied social work, you required a UAI of 71, I think, to get into social work at UWS. So depends on what uni you want to go to, and yeah, you need to find out, like, maybe do your research and find out which unis are best suited for social work, and then you need to find out what the UAI is. I think they call them ATARs now, I'm not sure. Like, what's the requirements in, you know, in terms of marks, and what do you need to get in terms of marks. Let me check my food. Okay, so our beef is ready. I'm going to take it out of the pan and then cook my vegetables and then add it back into it. So as I was saying, yeah, so once you found the uni that you know, according to your research indicates to be the best uni for studying social work, then you've got to find out what's the required marks to get into that particular uni, and then you can work towards that. In the meantime, you can attend like orientation days and things like that and query about the nature of the degree when you're studying. So usually when universities are about to employ new students or take on new students, they will have orientation days. That's a good way to explore and find out which uni you would prefer, and you know, what kind of information would they provide you during the course and that kind of thing. And if you get the opportunity to do volunteer work, I'd say why not? I feel like as a high schooler, most of the time you do have a lot of time on your hands. So this is me assuming here, so if I'm wrong, then, you know, forgive me. But if you do have a lot of time on your hands, volunteering is an option. I didn't volunteer, but I think now that I look back, if I had, I probably would have a more hands-on experience before getting into the field. Carrots in there. And I'm cooking this on very low heat because, you know, I'm kind of distracted and I don't want to burn it, so yeah. I'm gonna add my spices in now. In here I've got a tablespoon of flour and some water. I'm just going to make like a creamy, milky paste type thing, and I'm going to pour it into my filling. Just so it has that, like, it's not drying and, you know. I'm going to add my meat in now. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna taste this just to make sure it's good, salt wise and everything else. Don't put your finger in the pot like I am. Okay, here's my filling done. Now that our filling is done, we're going to move on to the dough. But before we do that, we're going to answer another question. So Belle asked, Jasmine, how do you currently feel with the break that you're taking? I think that it is so important that you took some time for yourself. And I truly want to know, how do you, Jasmine, the person, not the social worker, feels? Oh, the best. That's so sweet. I think that's really thoughtful. So how do I feel? Honestly, I feel so relaxed. Like, I just feel like the world is my oyster. I feel like I'm not really in a box anymore. You know, when you go to work, it's like you got responsibilities. You just feel like it's something that has to happen kind of thing. But now that I'm not working, I just feel so much freedom. Like, I just feel like I can do whatever I want. I can earn money however I want, like legally, obviously. It's like I don't necessarily have to go back to full-time work if I don't want to. I can if I want to. Like, I just feel free. I just feel very free. I do have days when I feel like, oh my God, what the hell? Should I just get back into work? Because every now and again, I do feel a sense of like, am I being aimless? Am I wasting my time? You know, that kind of thing. Those questions kind of play in my head sometimes. But generally, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's been like 9 and 9. I feel really good. Like I'm on a 9. It's only that little 1% that, you know, sometimes I do question what I'm doing. But like I feel free. I just feel good. Yeah, it's been really, really good and I'm just enjoying it. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. If you want any further details, please feel free to, you know, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so before we move on to the next question, let me show you the ingredients for the flour part of the meat pie. So I've got in here 500 grams of flour, 120 mils of milk, 1 egg, and 250 grams of butter. So basically, however much flour you use, you just half that and add that amount of butter to it. Butter needs to be at room temperature. Mine is a bit cold, so it might be harder to like mix it in, but we'll see how we go. Someone asked, how did I get into hair care and skincare? Basically, as you can see, I have natural hair. I live in Sydney, Australia. There wasn't really any specific hair products that were made for me. So everything that I used, I had to order from America and it was just way too expensive. So I decided to start making my own hair care products. And yeah, and initially I just used shea butter. And then I started researching about like how to make leave-in conditioners and all those kind of things. And then I started making it for myself and using it on my hair. And then I started making skincare products for my skin. So I did that for about a year or so. And then I thought about possibly selling it. I was like, you know, people always ask me what I put in my hair and stuff like that. So why don't I consider selling it? So initially I just started selling whipped shea butter. That's what I started selling. I sold that for a couple of months or so. And then I started researching about, you know, how to make formulations and skincare and stuff like that. And, you know, what are the regulations around it? Who do I need to be registered to in order to sell chemically formulated products? If you're creating things like soaps and lotions and stuff like that, you need to be registered with like an Australian board type thing. So, you know, I did all that research and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I started selling. I started going to markets and local markets around here and giving it to friends and family, and they really enjoyed it. They were willing to pay for it, started buying, and it became a thing. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I love doing it. It's amazing. Everything I sell, I use for myself. So, you know. So I hope that answers your question. So once you have a breadcrumb-like consistency, that's exactly what you're looking for. You're going to add your milk and egg. I'll just add it in slowly. Okay, our dough is formed now, so we're going to roll it and cut it. Here are my meat pies done. I'm going to brush them with some milk and eggs. So basically the remainder of my egg milk mixture, just a little bit, just to give it that goldy color. And that'll be a good sign that it's cooked as well. My oven is already on at 180 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna pop this in there and we're gonna wait for the end results. Whilst the pie is cooking in the oven, I'm gonna check my questions. Says, what are your plans for your next career? In my career is still social work. It is going to be social work for a while. The person who asked this question is called TSK Salo. So TSK Cello, it is social work. It is still going to be social work. My next job will be different to what I used to do though. I'm more likely to get into something that's more case management like, where I do a lot more advocacy. I'm able to do home visits. So there's a balance, because my previous job was office, but I do want something that's a little well balanced, where I spend a significant amount of time out of the office and a significant amount of time in the office as well, so it's well balanced. So that's all I can say. I don't know what field it would be, but that would be the nature of it. But yeah, I'll update you guys when I get to that point. Before we try our pie, the last question was, what are some jobs that offer good social work experience before you graduate? I'm a sophomore that just switched to my pre-BSW, and I'm wondering how to gain experience. Things. So I do have a number of videos talking about how to get, you know, prepared to get into social work and how to get a job with no experience and all that. So I'll link that particular playlist in the description box below for you. Me personally, I did support work. So I did youth support work when I was studying. I didn't need a degree to do that. It was a very good way to prepare me to get into social work, because the kids that I was working with at the time, they were potential clients for a social worker, if that makes sense. So they all had social workers, but I just wasn't qualified at that stage. So I was a support worker. So that's something you can look into. And there's support work available for all different categories. So disability, aged community, youth in out-of-home care, like all different sectors. So you can look in. I can't think of any other jobs off the top of my head, but if I do think of any, I will put them on the screen whilst I'm editing. Okay, I've run out of memory on my card, so I'm quickly going to show you my delicious pie. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video. I really enjoyed it. I just felt in my element. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, so give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. But before you go, let's try this delicious pie, okay? Here is one of my pies. I'm going to break it into two. Oh, can you see that? There you go, guys. This is my pie. Look at that. Fluffy, meaty, delicious. Pastry is so crumbly. Oh, delicious, guys. So good. Take care. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.